Hey, everybody. You'll note that there are a shockingly fewer number of players than are normally here. It's been a day of sudden changes and long schedules. And as such, we are going to actually not have a session tonight, but because at least one of you did take the time to tune in, we thought we would come in and say hi.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
So, hey, you've got your whole evening ahead of you, but I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a recap of various things that have happened, and I will throw my players under the bus to bring us up to speed on where we have been, and then if our one viewer is actually watching, we're going to throw something out to you to see if there's something that you want to have happen next time we play. And we'll weave that into essentially talking about where the next thing will go. So get your thinking cap on if you know what's happening next. So let's start with, I'll choose someone at random. Dan, why don't you tell us what has been happening to the crew in Saltmarsh?
Okay. Well, we started with the dilemma of having to break out of jail that assassin whose name was Lev Lockelson, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. And so we tried to break him out. Norman went first, got himself caught trying to pretend as if he was the lawyer. Eventually, I believe we went to the mayor, did we not? And asked him to get him out, and we got permission to have him removed with City Watch guards so that we could have this meetup later or around midnight, I think, right? Is the time that we have to do it. So that was sort of the bulk, the main thrust of that plot line. And then there was a wrench thrown our way by you right at the end with a dwarf and a mine and a mansion.
Yes.
Couple of dwarf and miners.
Yes.
I'm looking at my haphazard notes, and I don't know if they make sense, but the old McAster house, I believe it's called. Is that right?
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, and to just correct one note, it wasn't the mayor. The town has a council. They don't actually have a mayor. There is a chief of the sort of head counselor, but there's no mayor per se. The person that arranged this to happen would have been Anders Solmore.
That's the name I was trying to think of.
Who is your faithful, the man who, the notary who took Captain Rardath's last will, and he seems to be a promising and bright young man who is also a counselor, but also a merchant. So he's got his fingers in some pies. Well done, Dan. Excellent summary.
Okay. Oh, hey, yeah.
Brooke, what did Dan forget? What did Dan miss in that summary?
Oh, yeah.
You're a heck of a teacher.
Yeah. So he kind of missed that the reason. Did you say the reason why we're doing this?
Well, no, I didn't. And I guess we should recap that.
Yeah. So the reason so we go to the mayor, to Anders, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, listen, I could rent you this, but also if you take care of this situation, I'll give you 100 gold and you can stay here rent free. So we were kind of like, oh, well.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the dwarf.
Yes. Yeah. So that's kind of why we decided to take that on, because we like to save up our money and just hoard it until our DM forces us to spend it because he's annoyed that we kept all of our money.
It's true. Yes, you have been evicted essentially from the Mariners Guild Hall because of the influx of sailors. The crackdown on smuggling meant a lot of boats weren't going out, so there's more people in town than are there normally.
Right.
So the proprietor of the guild hall very apologetically indicated that you should find other digs because you are better off than many of the sailors that he was going to be tending to. Very good. Brooke, anything more that you want to add to Dan's excellent summary, or maybe, generally good summary?
Oh, I think I've added. Christine, please take it away.
The mansion we're going to is spooky. It's abandoned. and it's on the outskirts of town. And we're gonna go there and investigate where some crazy screaming had happened from a couple of dwarven miners.
That's right, the screaming.
Screaming, yeah.
But we gotta make sure we hustle and get that done before our midnight meet.
Oh yeah, and
Yes.
we're leaving Lev and the group
Yeah.
that's picking up at Anders, I think, right?
Yeah, they can hang on to him for,
Yeah,
the time being.
the city watch guards are taking care of business.
Yeah, essentially they put him right back in his cell and say, all right, well, he'll be here when you need him.
Yeah.
Glad that you worked so hard to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know if I gave you as many details. Manistrad, what's her last name?
Copperlocks.
Copperlocks, thank you. She would have given you the summary, and then there'd be another dwarf there who looks very gaunt and very much in bad shape, like he's seen things, man, or he's just been scared out of his wits. So they've got a cloak around him and he's drinking some grog. And she relates that what he has told her is that they all went off to sort of loot the house, basically, because they've heard tale that there was something in there probably worth looting. And this third dwarf, there were the other two that actually went in, but this third one, Scargill Blackhorn, just was too mistrustful of the place. He agreed to keep watch outside. And an hour later, he heard hideous screams as if souls in torment coming from within the house. He fled the scene in terror, and he has vowed never to return. And then when this news got out, all the other miners went on strike. They refused to work when there was clearly a danger so close by. And this is a bit of a tizzy for the town council, because they need a really good alliance with the dwarves. They see that there is silver in these mines, and they would kind of like to have a piece of that action. But they don't have a force of their own to investigate. They've send a contingent of their soldiers off to deal with an incursion of monsters from the Dreadwood. And then, you happen to cross paths with Anders, who put two and two together.
Clever Anders.
Clever Anders. He's always a guy to make a deal. So, but Christine, I may have cut you off there. What else did you have to report for us?
Oh, I just needed to exclaim the fact that it was going to be spooky. I feel like we're like going to be Scooby-Doo, and we're going.
Yeah,
we're going to a spooky mansion. Yeah,
definitely.
Dan is definitely Scooby.
Oh, yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
Will solve crimes for snacks.
I was gonna say Shaggy, but yeah,
all right.
They're kind of the same coin, right? Just two different faces.
Yeah, but since you're a druid, you got to be the dog.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Smart.
Oh,
Yep.
There's the connection.
Yeah.
So on that motif, then I don't know, maybe people just log in and then let this natter on in the background, or maybe they're attentively watching and seeing this happen and are ready, dying to chat in at a moment's notice. But I would ask the question then, in our haunted house adventure, what are some obstacles that the characters are going to encounter?
Like pylons,
booby traps,
hobby horses.
Yeah.
Really small spiders,
A rope ladder,
a spooky doll.
Spooky dolphin.
A spooky dolphin. Yeah, that's really what I meant to say. Yeah.
One of those things you have to put your hands in. It's like filled with spaghetti, but it feels like brains.
Yeah.
It'd be a pretty
those
scary
things,
obstacle.
Those things are bowls.
Good watcher.
Bowls of like
Bowls of scary bowls of
on them.
spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of us could get by that if we encountered that obstacle.
Especially not if it's peeled grapes and then it's little eyeballs.
Oh yeah. Well, that's probably what happened when the dwarves found it. That
Spaghetti.
The screams of torment. Yes.
Andrew,
yeah.
as DM, a quick question.
Yeah.
Are black holes allowed?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because if there was a black hole, then you would have to describe what happens after we pass the event horizon. And I'd like to see you try that.
It's fair. Listen, man, I can come up with shit. Matt has suggested you got to have the classics. You're going to need a portrait with moving eyes.
Oh,
Okay.
Secret doors are a must. Maybe a Don Knotts cameo.
Matt.
Oh, yeah. What was
Yep,
that?
that's-
That was the haunted. What was that famous Don Knotts house on the haunted hill? What was it called again? I watched it like in the last year. That's why it's where he's kind of going with that.
I cannot wait for the portrait with the moving eyes. Like I'm so excited for it.
Well, of course we have to Google it, don't we? Don, the Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
Goes to Mr. Chicken. That's
Yeah.
it.
I would not have gotten that had I not Googled it.
It's a good
'cause
movie. I recommend it. I think it's on Amazon.
I think House of Hill is very recent in comparison to this 1966 comedy horror.
Yeah. So Dan, PJ is letting me know that there are rules for Event Horizons in the DM's guide. So you just
Oh.
wait.
Oh, Andrew's got to do research.
A heck of a tome, that DM's guide.
Rules.
And Matt called it for Ghost and Mr. Chicken, although maybe he Googled it. Never can tell.
I don't think Matt's a Googler. I think it's all up in here. And I know Matt.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a pretty good brain for these things. So maybe. All right. So we've got Portrait with Moving Eyes and Secret Doors. And a Don Knotts cameo. I can tell you one of those things is already scheduled.
Really?
Don Knotts made it in. I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
And maybe they'll be behind a secret door, a black hole for Dan.
Andrew, I'll
Yes.
pay you if not only Don Knotts, but Norman Fell, the other Three's Company landlord, it both make an appearance.
Listen, Mom never told me I'd make any money doing this. So I
Mr. Curly and Mr. Roper.
finally a way to profit off of this game. Monetize the stream for a penny every 2 years, and Dan will pay me to put characters in the plot. Love it. But we'd have to have Jack Tripper in there as well, wouldn't we? To really, or heck, the whole cast.
That's Al. That's Norman.
It's true.
I'm the Scooby-Doo. He's the Jack Tripper.
Well, I think we've just found a new party game here, which is to assign the D&D party to the roles of Three's Company.
Oh God.
Nimmerlian's Alf. Glonda is Punky Brewster.
Thank you.
And Jordan is, of course, Monk. Tony Shalhoub.
Oh yeah, that's pretty fitting actually. Yeah.
I put no effort into thinking that. Those literally just the first character that popped into my.
Hey, I'm gonna really personalize. I'm gonna take it very personally, whoever, because of course I don't think I've even seen that.
Haven't seen Alf.
Seen what?
Alf.
Three's
What?
Company?
Oh, I
Yeah.
haven't seen Three's Company. Oh,
Oh.
that's sad.
No, because it played in the 70s.
What are
In
you
the
saying?
80s.
Are you saying that it's not good because it played in the 70s? Is that what you're saying?
No, but no. I'm saying I'm just not at that. Christine, you haven't seen it.
Brooke is so young. You need to give her a break.
Have you seen Alf?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I will argue that that's one of the great sitcoms, like from the 80s. Alf.
And did that wait, and he came from that show?
No, he wasn't in
No.
that show. Dan's just trying to confuse us. Listen, we
Yeah.
have some knowledge of TV shows between the 60s to the 80s.
Whether
okay?
we watch them at all is different. Yeah. 'Cause
No,
I-
no. There are replays on TV when we were growing up before.
Sure.
I'm
Now,
sure
now
that's how
all I
watched it.
watch, now all I watch is whatever I choose via my phone remote. I don't have cable, but before cable,
Yeah.
yes, I watched some of these, but not
Well,
all
what
because they
Netflix
weren't always
reminded you?
available.
I Dream of Jeannie, Brady Bunch, what's the one with
Clowns,
Happy Days
happy
yeah, a
days.
little bit of that.
or Joey
Oh,
Love
and what was
Chachi.
Cheers, a little bit of Cheers.
Yeah,
And they had their own A, but it was Norm.
yeah. Oh, remember
Yeah,
that
you know.
game?
Yeah.
I expect you're about to tell me, Dan, that Tergar is best played by Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck.
Well, we were saying Alf and Punky Brewster, so it's got to be Magnum PI.
Sure.
Not Tom Selleck at all.
I love it.
My sister had an Alf
B.A.
toy. It was a
Baracus.
weird looking thing.
Who was a weird looking thing?
Alf.
Oh yeah.
I had the doll too.
Yeah,
Yeah, my sister did.
my neighbor's golden retriever had the Alf doll.
Oh no.
Every time I went over to visit when I was a kid, the dog would come out with the Alf doll, and it was the cutest thing in the world.
Love how
You know-
soft they are.
You know what this
Dogs and
episode
dolls.
is like? It's. Did you guys ever watch The Deadliest Catch?
No.
It's like that Discovery show about the crab fishermen in the North Sea, or in the Alaskan Sea, or what's that sea? The Bering Sea. So no one watched that show.
That's
Dan.
on. That's
'Cause,
on now, eh?
because
That's
once-
that's the current show.
No, I don't.
It's not
I
in
don't
the
know that it
60s, isn't it?
No, it was. Well, it is actually. It could still be on, but every season they would have one episode where it wasn't them on the boats; it was just them sitting around the table talking. It was
Mm.
called Beyond the Catch. I think.
I was
Ah,
old
yes.
enough. I just didn't watch it.
It's still
So-
on.
I know. I looked it up.
It's really good. Or
Should-
it was, at least.
So for the confused third viewer who's joined us and realized that we are in no way playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight, just to recap that Al is working late and Jordan is in a committee meeting that is
He's having
very
a
much
Parks and Recreation moment.
yeah. We are likely not going to see them, so we have taken a vote that we're
Figured, yeah.
gonna offset tonight, rather than go forward and have some more confused players next week. But should we talk any kind of D&D? I know, Brooke, you're thinking about you had some questions earlier about new characters and such. I don't know, to make this slightly on brand, should we go there, or
Sure.
do we want to?
We don't have to. I mean, well, these three viewers, well, Matt and who was the other one that you said is probably watching?
Well, I'm
I do
guessing
need to
PJ. I know PJ because he made a comment, but I'm guessing number 3 is Andrew in Louisiana.
Well, so
Mhm.
I'd like to make a necromancer type of a character, and I can't decide if I want to go with is it drow elf and just like allow for that disadvantage to just make it more enjoyable, or just be a regular old human, or should I be a halfling? Like, I don't know what race would be best for this type of a necromancer that I want to be.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to be like a witch doctor. I just want to be like, that person's dead. Bloop. Now I can use them as a servant. Like, just kind of this attitude of like, no one's using it. I want to use it. That's kind of,
Sounds
know what-
pretty evil, though.
I was going to say,
No!
yeah.
it's
Sounds-
just like saying we're
sounds
finished with
pretty
this
evil.
milk carton. Let's turn it into a boat. That's her view.
It's recycling.
Exactly.
Recycling
Reduce, reuse,
people.
recycle.
I'm sorry, and what race did you say you're?
That's my question. Is it like, should I just go for human because already as a necromancer, she's not going to be very well liked? Or should I just go all out and be a little creepy? And we don't have to go with the drow elf because they actually have a disadvantage. They're like a black skin, like as black as night or something like that. And they have a disadvantage in sunlight at like anything that they do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'cause
It's
they're
pretty
just-
limiting.
Yeah.
So
And I
the
think it'd
question,
also be very funny.
the question, dear viewers, is what race should Brooke consider for her
Because
necromancer
I'm
wizard?
thinking probably I should go for wizard as well in terms of my class. Like I was thinking at sorcerer, I was looking at warlock, I was looking at
Mhm.
other magic users, but I think she'll probably be more of the learned type. But I don't know.
Well, I think structurally, it's a question of what classes have any kind of ability to raise dead at all. And
Yeah, and none. I mean, wizard, you can choose necro by like level 2 or 3 as your school, right, or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
none of the other ones start off with anything like that.
I can tell you that the warlock class is very limited in terms of spells.
Yeah.
They're kind of bad at everything except this one ability to cast the Eldritch Blast spell, which for some reason the game has really made them leverage. So it's like, why would you do anything else? But in terms of raising dead, I don't even know like when they would have access to that ability, and then they'd only be able to do it like rarely.
Yeah, you can't really even do anything necro-y until like level. I think most necro spells are level 2 or something like. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I'm just starting to like look into that now. But
Yeah. So
anyway, that's kind of where my brain is. But
certainly the sort of min-max crowd of, if you're going to do this, then you should, leverage this race because it's really good at that, would say that if you're doing a wizard, you want something which gives you extra intelligence,
Yeah.
because that would, make your spells more effective. And that's probably, I can't remember. I think the high elf is the one that gives you like +2 intelligence. No, it gives you +1 intelligence.
Yeah, and humans do too. Don't humans give you +1 on everything?
On everything, yeah. But
we don't have any humans in our campaign, do we?
No, we don't. We do not. Gnomes get +2 intelligence. So if you wanted to,
can you
do
imagine a
really mean one-
necromancer gnome?
Yep. I mean, if you want to have maximum fun. So Matt's reporting, if you want to jump right into the theme, take a look at the cleric whose domain, a grave cleric. So a cleric with domain of the grave.
Okay.
Yeah. And Peach is saying humans get the ability bonus across the board, but they're too young. So apparently too young to be a necromancer, young lady.
My character could be old.
Once played a level 1 sorcerer, and he was like in his 80s. So the question is, how can this character be level 1 if he's that old? Did he just start late? But I thought it'd be kind of fun if he had like advanced Alzheimer's. So he used to be really powerful, but then he's forgotten everything.
Well, that'd be perfect for me.
How do I do this again?
I wouldn't have to look at the notes, so you could just show up.
That's right. You just, what am I doing here again? And it's a lot of fun to play.
Isn't it? And it's sorcerer, I think, is kind of fun that they have that chaos associated with them, right? Anytime that they roll a 1, that fun magic happens, right? As I was reading that.
There's a particular, I forget what the sorcerer lineage is. Like they all have subclasses or whatever.
Yeah, I think if you're coming from the earth rather than a god or a demon, then it's something like you have so much power and it's like flowing through your body that when you do roll for something, if you roll a 1, automatically something totally random happens, and then you roll another die like a D100, and then something completely random will also happen, which I think is kind of fun.
Oh, super fun until it wipes out your entire party. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, or someone births a child.
Yes, and then it got into a completely different game. Matt suggesting a Hexblade Warlock. They eventually get to raise enemies they slay.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
At level 6.
Oh.
Just immediately turning me into specters. No fuss, no muss. There's that. So yeah, you get tons of options. But in terms of races,
thank you very much.
I'd say
thought about playing an HR manager.
You thought about playing a biology professor?
Yes.
Instead of playing a flight attendant, going to hell.
Charon.
You kind of dig.
What's that, Christine?
You can't fly to hell. You gotta dig.
Yeah,
Christine.
What about portals?
Well, I didn't know they were a portal.
Okay.
We talked about an airplane.
Yeah, that was a real transition there. Come on.
Yeah. Yep.
If you have read Timothy Finley's Not Wanted on the Voyage, it will have you questioning where hell really exists.
Dan, literally anything you've ever referenced, I cannot relate to.
I swear it is
People,
a 99.5% of my entire friendship with you, Dan. 99.5%. I don't get freaking any of your references.
The nice thing about these calls being virtual and not as being in person is I can casually Google whatever the hell you're talking about.
Well, Dan, and Timothy Findley's Not Wanted on the Voyage. Everybody knows that. No, I was going to then go into something that I had Googled, but you see, I didn't because I'm not.
I highly recommend you read Not Wanted on the Voyage by
I don't read
Timothy Finley, which is about Noah's Ark.
Oh, I heard of it.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Dan, who was not wanted on the voyage?
Well, that's a good question. The unicorns.
Knew it.
But really,
I've got 5 minutes, by the way.
It's
5-minute call.
Good old Lucifer is a big character in that story. God's a bit of a douchebag in it.
The cat from Cinderella.
Is that your new one-man show? God's a bit of a douchebag.
Oh, I should write that. Yeah, I should. There's a lot of things I should do. Anyway.
Shoulda,
So-
woulda,
digress.
coulda.
So Matt has
Did Ottawa have a Fringe, like a virtual one this summer?
We did, yes.
we did, yeah.
I think so.
Yes, everybody went.
What about fresh meat?
It has not.
It's moved to
happened
Gatineau.
this
It's called
year.
French meat now.
It's a smoke meat sandwich.
It's called La Viande Française.
Wait,
La
do I-
viande.
Do I have a losing horn? Is that gonna work?
Wah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, we haven't had many great sound effects as of late, or maybe I've muted the sound. I don't know. I usually have it on. I have it on. It gives me good vibes.
Yeah, yeah. It's Jordan who gets shocked into attention, I think, is part of it. Well, I think this is a natural segue place to move off. So to our 3 very loyal viewers who tuned in to see a D&D game tonight and got none, our apologies. That's life for you. I gather we've been very lucky with the lovely, men and women of Crush that this has taken 19 episodes to get to this point where schedule collapse has happened. But
Yeah.
I think part of it is also that we've all been cooped up, and now we're less cooped up as of late. So I think that that's just part of the course. I think our house should probably be in the future, if one person can't make it, then we'll go ahead. But if 2 or more can't, then we'll try and reschedule it, or at least delay it, to the next session well in advance, so that we're not day of, because that sucks for everybody. But yeah, any parting shots, any Netflix / Amazon / streaming service recommendations before we go? Everybody in chat can also throw in what they're
I'm
watching.
Love Island, and I actually am getting a lot out of it. I think it's hilarious.
On that note, there's F-Boy Island.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay, guys, buckle up. There's 24 guys, 3 girls. 12 guys are self-proclaimed F-boys. The other 12 guys are nice guys. Girls,
Self-proclaimed.
self-proclaimed, but like they've got the resume to boot.
Okay.
So
The
it's
resume
kind of
for
like
these
the
things?
bachelorette thing. Like they're kind of like dating all of them and trying to figure out who they want to be with. If they choose a nice guy at the end, they get money. If they choose an F-boy at the end, the F-boy gets money. And he leaves.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Also, no one knows who is.
Nobody. It's crazy.
Do the F boys not know that the other F boys?
Yeah, they don't know. Nobody knows.
my
It's
God.
their own little secret. It's so great.
Where's this streaming?
Crave HBO.
Okay, I've got Crave, but I don't think I have the extra HBO.
I paid for it to watch that one show.
I'm just getting into the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh yeah.
I've been
I
meaning to
read
get
that
into
book,
it.
and I don't think I want to see that violence on TV.
That's why I've not gone to it because it's such a disturbing book, and but it's so well done. I watched only
Yeah,
the
it is.
first.
It's
I've only
beautiful.
watched the first episode, so
Yeah.
it's one of those ones I don't think I can binge it.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a bit of it.
I'll
it's
need
tough.
to balance that out. I'm also watching The Expanse. So
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yes.
that's so good.
Same. Waiting for
Yeah.
that last season now.
yeah, I'm only into season 4 right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a
I-
nice balancer.
Oh yeah, I think Amos is like pretty.
What a wonderful character to play. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he's the best character in the
He
whole show.
is. Andre's
Brooke-
like, why do you like that one of every? I'm like, I don't know, Amos. It's
Yeah,
Amos.
he's cool. He's the most complex guy. I love him.
Brooke, you've got to go. So what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is that everyone get their pets spayed and neutered, and that if you would like a book to read, I recommend the Pokedex of the first 150 Pokemon that you get from your Scholastic book order.
All right.
Well, I bet nobody saw that coming.
Good memories.
Cool. Well, Brooke, we don't want to keep you if you've got. So I think you have
Sounds
people
good.
coming over, right?
I'll
bit-
head out and we'll talk about maybe it being on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We may be switching days depending on people's schedules. So we'll see how that plays out. Yep. Dear viewers, you will learn.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Brooke. I am watching HBO's Lovecraft Country, and it is amazing.
So good.
It is so amazing,
Sadly,
especially
not being picked up for a second season.
yeah. Well, there's only the one book.
Yes, and that's the thing. They left it
Yeah.
open that there could have been more.
Yeah.
But they did finish the story.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
But I did read up on it. Apparently, it's like there's only the one book, and we all know what happened with Game of Thrones when they ran out of books. It got terrible. So in a way, I'm glad that they're
Right.
not
That's right.
rushing in to do more.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. That was earlier in the spring. I watched that, and I'd say that's one of the top 20 shows I've ever watched.
It's interesting. There's a fan favorite role-playing game out there called Call of Cthulhu,
Yes,
which is all about the Cthulhu mythos, and basically you can play an adventurer in the 20s investigating these things. And the dynamic in that game that's really interesting is sanity points. And you can lose your sanity points, and if you run to 0, then your character goes insane. Yeah, so I really am enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. There you go. And I think anybody not got a chance to recommend something? Christine recommended something.
F-Boy Island.
Yeah.
Give it a watch. Enjoy.
Dan, did you get to recommend something?
I just said a while. Well, I just, you know what I just finished? I've talked TV. I just finished reading finally.
You said Handmaid's Tale. That's right. Excuse me.
Yeah, but for books, All the Light We Cannot See. I had not read it. I read it this summer, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The Pulitzer Prize-winning novel.
Okay.
Phenomenal. Thank you. Yes.
I've been reading the Sandman graphic novels.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
You've read these, right, Christine?
I can't read. I've been crocheting.
Hey, listen, I think crocheting is awesome.
So that's what
For
I'm
other people
trying
to
to do. Yeah, no. Till my hands are like this and I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Is
I've
that
got
like
some picture books I can send your way.
Thank you. Would appreciate
Good Night
it.
Moon. There's some
Oh,
words in that
nice.
one. But
Yeah, haven't heard of it.
come on.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I haven't read it though.
for her time? Come on. Cool. Well, shall we shut down the old Streamerino for tonight and let everyone get on with their night? So sorry that there weren't no game tonight. And oh, interesting. Matt saying the Sandman Netflix series should be fun, but there's also a really cool audiobook. Well,
Yes, it's
That's
coming
interesting.
soon. Mhm.
that would be really interesting to do as a TV show. I have a hard time seeing that actually, because it's just so fantastical. Like you blow your art budget right off out of the
Mhm.
water.
Mhm. But they're doing that more and more now.
Yeah.
The budgets of television shows are starting to mimic those of big budget films like Loki.
Oh, and yes, Loki was fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, look at that. We're all awesome.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. And we'll hopefully pick this up in 2 weeks. So good night.
Good night, everybody.
Sorry.